Okay, so this is a little bit surprising, and it's very surprising that nobody is really talking about this. If you go to Dead by Daylight's Steam store page right now, you will see that Dead by Daylight recently has gathered a bunch of negative reviews. At the moment it says that recent reviews for this game are mostly negative. It's 35% out of 100% that are positive. All of the other reviews are negative. And if you go to analytics, you will see that most of these negative reviews Dead by Daylight got on March 25th. So it was the time when the latest PTB got announced, or I think I'm correct, but I don't know. But look at these reviews, like this has been a terrible month for this game when it comes to people liking this game. Like usually Dead by Daylight, as you can see there in its lifespan, this game has very positive reviews. Like take a look at this chart. Most of them are positive. Of course there are people complaining that developers are shitty motherfuckers with small dicks, blah blah blah, but usually they are very positive, like they are on a high positive chart. But this past month it's been extremely negative, so let's talk about it. But before that, if you are a normal person, then don't forget to subscribe, or else you are not normal, no matter what you say. So don't be stupid and subscribe to Boy Dilly. Okay, so first of all, let's try to find a reason for why does this game get so many negative reviews. So the real reason why Dead by Daylight has got so many negative reviews is that Dead by Daylight's porn content is not satisfying us anymore. Like, take a look at all of these videos. Where is the real meat? We came there to see some hardcore bangers, but instead—
What the fuck is this bullshit?
I'm just kidding, that's not why Dead by Daylight is getting so many negative reviews. But actually Dead by Daylight's porn industry, it's like a meme. Developers, please fix it. However, after analyzing many of these negative reviews, I came to a conclusion that most of them have to do with the latest mid-chapter patch. And this is actually a very controversial and actually a game-changing patch. It's controversial not only because the most popular survivor perk of all time, Dead Hard, is getting a massive nerf, like I will never use this perk again, but actually some of the most popular killer perks are getting huge nerfs for no reason. For example, Pain Resonance and Call of Brine, both perks will become absolutely useless, and people seem to hate it. And I will tell you my opinion on these nerfs a little bit later, but as you can see, majority of Dead by Daylight's community, at least on Steam, doesn't seem to be happy about it. I think this review summarizes it all very well. Balancing a game does not mean nerfing both killers and survivors. Play the game before you make improvement on it. I also like this review. Just play Dead by Daylight Mobile instead. Well, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is my opinion on this patch, and it's gonna be very similar to opinion of those people who give this game a negative review because of this patch. For many years, I've said that this game is a survivor-sided game, especially when there are multiple survivors in the same group. And that's true, I stick by my word, especially skill-based matchmaking system in Dead by Daylight, which is in my opinion the biggest problem with this game. SBMM system in this game favors survivors. Now you might argue that playing as a solo survivor is harder than playing as a killer, but it really depends on how skillful you are. Like when I play as a solo survivor, most of the time I feel like I'm more powerful than any killer I get to play against. Listen, it's okay to disagree, and I know that there are people who believe that this game is heavily killer-sided game, but most of these people that I see that are saying like this game is killer-sided game, they are new to this game, and I got like 3,000 hours in this game, and I have never changed my opinion. This game is a survivor-sided game if you asked me. So as a person who likes to play killer and as a person who believes that this game favors survivor side, I love it when killers in this game get buffed. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, this killer got buffed, that's the right decision made by developers, I love it. And I will tell you that I think that developers are really generous with buffing killers. Like, during this past year, developers gave killers in this game so many buffs. Like, I don't think we have seen this many buffs anytime before. So there's a side of me that wants to be grateful to Dead by Daylight developers and happy about it, but there's another side of me that is thinking, what the fuck are these developers doing? Are they even playing their own game? Because every time they buff a killer and they go forward, they go one step backwards because they also, for some reason, decide to buff survivors. And then all of a sudden they are like, nah, we are gonna nerf survivors. And I'm like, yes, 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 finally, Survive with Friends groups are getting a big nerf. And then for no reason developers decide to nerf killers too. Like, balancing this game is easier than most of you think. You don't need to buff both sides and call this game balanced. You don't need to nerf both sides and call this game balanced. That's not how it works. Take the survivor side and take the killer side. Put them next to each other, then take a look at the data and take a look at what the players of this game have to say about balancing in Dead by Daylight. You can do these surveys or something like that. You can ask your player base which side is better, like which side is better balanced. And that's when you know which side needs to get a nerf and which side needs to get a buff. And this latest mid-chapter patch has literally nerfed both sides. Like, I'm glad that Dead Hard got nerfed. Like, I was initially very pissed off because Dead Hard is like my favorite survivor perk. I've been using Dead Hard for like forever, but I understand why this perk got nerfed. Like, most people who are killer mains, they got a bunch of beef with this perk, they hate Dead Hard, and Dead Hard has been overused for so long. And it got nerfed. That's correct in my opinion. But why the fuck would they nerf some of the best killer perks that are like good for slowing down generator repair speeds? Like, these are gen-regression perks, and I don't think that there are good gen-regression perks in this game anymore. Pop Goes the Weasel was nerfed, now we got Pain Resonance nerf, and it's great that developers listened to the community and decided to adjust healing speeds because people were very pissed that instead of 16 seconds it would take 24 seconds to heal each other. They also buffed Pain Resonance a little bit, but it's still shitter than it has ever been. And I don't see the reason to nerf Call of Brine at all. But would I rate Dead by Daylight negatively like most people do? I would not, because I love Dead by Daylight as it is. That's why I'm playing this game, and I believe that we need to review the game like in a whole context. Like, we don't need to focus on one patch. We need to see the game like as a big project, and if you enjoy playing it, if you love spending your hours playing this game, just give it a positive review. But on the other hand, if that's the only way to express yourself, if that's the only way to show developers what you think, give this game a negative review. I don't think that it will help. I don't think that giving Dead by Daylight a negative review on Steam affect the decisions that developers make. Yes, they nerfed most of the best perks in the game for no reason, and I have no idea why they did that, but it's Dead by Daylight developers after all. I don't think they are terrible developers. I don't think it's the worst company of all time. I don't like PUBG developers even more than Dead by Daylight developers. I think Dead by Daylight developers are better than Ubisoft, but they are not the best developers in the world, and it's very hard to balance Dead by Daylight, but it's not as hard as Dead by Daylight developers make it to be. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.